Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. And it is new comic book day. This week was new comic book day. We got a lot of new comics, and we got a lot of books to actually review this week.
Like last week, another 14 or so.
Yeah, we got a lot of books.
I know it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not. I'm actually pretty happy because these are relatively good books.
And most of them are really pretty good. We actually enjoyed this a lot. All right, so I'm going to start with the one that we got online, which was Hope at World's End, number 5.
And that is a real shame that it's only online.
And I wish it was print. That would be so great. But hey, Perry, how you doing, man?
What's up, man?
But Hope at World's End 5 was fantastic. When Damien stole the invisible jet. And they're like, you know what the only problem with stealing invisible jets? Your visibility. And he's like floating and then the zombie kite man comes and hits and slides along the side of it. Hilarious. It was a good, fun, lighthearted, but also had a good moment where Orphan comes in. I think Orphan, somebody else. I can't remember her name now. But she comes in. And Damien had gone to see his dad's grave, and Dick's grave, and the grave of the Robin, right? And he sees it, and he puts his mask back on. The girl comes out, and she goes to give him a hug, and he's hugging, and she's hugging him, and she said, "It's all right, your mask is on, and I'm hugging you. You can cry," and he just starts bawling. Beautiful, beautiful moment, because he's Damien. He can't cry about his dad, Batman, being dead. Especially with his assassin mother standing right over there, which, compassion, all that kind of stuff is very frowned upon. So it was a very good, touching moment. I thought it was fantastic. So other than the fact that it's digital, which I wish it was physical, I thought it was awesome. No, the layout was good. The way you flow through it in the digital comic is laid out correctly. It's
as a
laid
digital
out right.
comic, it's amazing.
Yes, it's done well as a digital comic. My biggest problem is it's a digital comic, but worth the money. It's worth the money. It's 99 cents.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth the money to me. I would still recommend it because it is still that good.
I'm pretty excited about this trade paperback you got. It's Firepower by Robert Cook.
So this is the next book, Firepower. This is the prequel called Volume 1 Prelude. All right. This was my pick of the week. There were some good comics in here, that read really well and they were really good, had some good moments. But an overall story, it's not my snap moment of the week. It is my pick of the week. This was fantastic. The old ninja master, the old monk master, the young girl teaching this kid. This was fantastic. The movement of the art. Mm-hmm. There was so many movement where you could just see the movement. That was great. Let me see. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at the movement there. You can feel what they're doing.
You can hear the washa.
Yep. And at the end when he does this thing, great stuff. And then, I mean, the 2-page spreads in here. Look at this.
Massive Kamehamehas.
Kamehameha! Great stuff. Ninjas falling from the sky. This was beautiful.
The art style worked.
The art worked really well in here. I really enjoyed it. It's not normally what I would prefer, but it was actually really, really good. I mean, look at
those ninjas.
Ninjas, man. Ninjas against monks on a mountaintop with swords, arrows, bow staffs, and then the kids throwing freaking fireballs. Beautiful. This, if you're not picking up this series, which the
next one has a free comic book day.
The free comic book day. Here. So
after all that, after he trains with these monks in this temple, he goes, and it says 15 years later, he's now an adult living in
suburbs. He's trying to get rid of, forget all about this. So this is where this pick, so this ends.
Yeah.
And then it says 15 years later,
right
and there's like a ninja waiting in a tree, right? And it feeds right into this. This was really good too. Now, if I hadn't read this, this wouldn't have made a lot of sense to me. And I've been like, I mean, it's okay. But now, because I've read this, I'm invested in this.
Yes. And on the back, they tell you there's a prelude that would make this book a lot more sense. But
all right, and it was really well done. Same art,
yes,
same fighting styles. We see him moved on in life, and just look. I mean, look at that. He goes to bed, and look what's on his roof. Man, it was freaking cool. So these two, pick of the week. This was fantastic from the Old Fogey. I loved it.
yes,
Young Whippersnapper.
Yeah, that was number 2 for me actually.
And this was good. This was solid. So it was well worth. Now, especially since I read the other one, I am definitely invested in this one.
The story continued very well.
So if you did not pick up this one, you should. Hey, Simon R., how you doing, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're just getting our Old Fogey Young Whippersnapper reviews in, and I hope everybody's picked this up.
Or at least
this was only $9.99. Look how thick that thing is. No, I mean there's like almost. I think there one ad in the back. Yeah, the last page had ads. The rest was all comic.
The first 5 pages or nothing.
No words,
action.
just him. It was awesome,
and it's all so beautiful. I love the colors in it.
Yes, colors are all done well. It led into this. This was definitely good.
Yeah.
But yeah, those go together in my opinion. Fantastic. Yes, Perry. It was super thick. Super. All right. So it was fantastic. I loved it. Old Fogey says recommend Young Fogey. Young Whippersnapper.
Young Fogey.
Would you rather be Young Fogey? No, you're Whippersnapper. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'd pick it up.
All right.
I'd pick it up for sure. I did not read this book because I want to read the first ones first.
Yes. So this was the next one. This we got on Perry's recommendation. You recognize
Last
this?
God.
You recognize this, Perry?
Yeah, Perry. Thanks to you, we're doing a D&D session.
We're gonna be
based
playing
off of this
game. Now, this was more of history kind of mixed in with what's going on, like they do in the normal book. They flip back and forth. The art in here is beautiful. Now, there's a part in the last page you can't read. You have to skip over that. So you may not be able to read this book at all. Perry probably really enjoyed it. Dude, you got to put it on your pull list. The art in here, I mean, just solid stuff. Beautiful. The dark colors in here. Hey, Street Marvel, how you doing, man? The dark colors in here just lends to the eeriness of the zombie plant type of vibe we've got going on.
Yeah.
And the story and the history and the lore and the things that are going on. Every character has their own personality. You know, this dude is a punk. And he gets punched in the face for it. And it was beautiful stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend Last Gods. It is fantastic. And we got the compendium 2 weeks ago, something like that, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And my son Jay is working on doing a West March campaign where we're going to play the characters and the subclasses that are built into the Last God compendium.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a D&D campaign, a West March campaign based off the Last God world. We're going to record it. Hopefully we get it recorded and put up here. If you enjoy D&D, good. If you enjoy Last God, you'll get to see us play.
If it's not entertaining, y'all probably won't see it. So,
but for me, this was solid. Another solid book. And definitely a good book for me. What do you think?
Oh, I didn't read it because I want to read the other ones first.
He hasn't read it. And I don't think you can read this one because the last page has a little one panel that I'll have to cover over for him. That's a shame, but it is Black Label. So, all right. This is our next book. X-Men versus Fantastic Four, number 4.
And it's not versus yet.
It's X-Men and Fantastic Four, number 4. Now, this was a really good. I mean, Chip Zdarsky. The next couple books, Chip Zdarsky. I love his writing.
I mean, technically, you're not right. It is kind of versus.
He does a fantastic job. And in here, you know, we kind of carrying on the story that the X-Men wanted, you know,
total segregation.
Wanted him because he's a mutant, right?
Yeah, he was born with powers.
And the powers are failing, so they go to Doom. And look at this. The art in here, Terry Dodson.
No, he runs away to Doom.
So well, he runs away from his parents, and he ends up with Doom. Doom's going to help him get his powers back, but Doom is also locking people into
automated Doom suits.
Mutants into Doom suits, and so they go to save them, right? And so we kind of see this. Franklin is kind of, his powers still don't work. We don't get a resolution there. We don't get a resolution to the story in that sense. And then we get that panel right there. This is the oh snap moment for me of the week.
My oh snap moment.
I really kind of had two.
2 pages before this. That was my oh snap moment. Valerie talking to Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got? Yeah, Uncle Doom.
She is way too smart for her own good.
Professor X wipes Mr. Fantastic's mind. And he goes, no matter how, he goes, I just removed your ability to remake the device. No matter how hard you think about it, tossing and turning in bed, trying to put the jigsaw puzzle together, it will always be missing pieces. This is a mercy, Reed. Mercy for a man who doesn't understand the consequences of his action. Mm-hmm. The old me, back when you and I were in Illuminati, I would have taken more steps after this. I would have erased your memory of doing this. But then that was then. This is now. I want you to remember. That is villainous. That was villainous. He is doing the pure on villains now. And look at what worse thing can you do to Reed Richards than to wipe his memory of something he know he's done, but then let him remember that he did it and he can never figure it out. The man wants to figure everything out. That is torture. And he has wiped his memory and let him know, I'm wiped your memory and you will never remember how you did it, but you will remember you did do it. I think Chip here has definitely shown that the current leaders of the X-Men are villainous. Doesn't mean all X-Men are, but I think Magneto and Professor X for sure, and I think Moira McTaggart is part of that group, are villains. There's something going on here, and we have been let know very clearly in this book. So that was my snap of the moment of the week. That was really, really good.
I want to see what he does with Valerie in Doom. Because
that's it. It's over. We don't know.
She's talking to Doom like, I saw what you did to the suit. I know what you're planning.
I know you stole some of Franklin's power.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, Scott. How you doing, man? Yeah, about time you caught us on. So I think very clearly this book showed Professor X, Magneto, and Maria McTaggart.
They are the best.
Are villains. He has just tortured Mr. Fantastic.
For the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life, unless he gets somebody to unwipe it. Number 4. That's right. X plus 4, number 4. Yeah. So that was my snap moment of the week. One of them. I bet you like to do something.
What do you call them? Levaterians. He mixed Levateria, his island with Leviathans.
Yes, that was cool.
I was like, yeah, that's a Doom name right there.
All right, so the next book we picked up was Daredevil.
Number 21.
Ooh. This was probably my second best book of the week.
That's my favorite book.
The art in here, Checchetto's art, is just beautiful stuff. Beautiful. I mean,
that scene with the mom. Oh,
look at this.
Oh yeah, that was a wonderful point.
Beautiful, and just the art in here is beautiful. Now there wasn't a lot of action in this, which I usually do like a lot of action, but the interplay between different characters, the interplay between Doom and the twins, the Swanson twins or whatever they're called, perfect. When he hung up on them, I'm like, oh snap, he hung up on them. They're the ones that sent all these guys, Bullseye and Rhino and Bullet, all into Hell's Kitchen to blow it apart.
Stilt
man, and he literally hung up on him. Perfect.
Fisk. Yeah.
I like the interplay between the cop, the cop and the other cop. This Powell, I think his name is Cole and the other cops. Perfect. And then when he locks him up, you can see they just, are we going to let you loose? Am I going to let you go? Here's a cop who would not break a rule, sitting in the car going, I'm willing now to break a rule for you, Daredevil, because of what you did, right? Daredevil ends up home. Spider-Man comes to the window and is like, I told you, if you put it on, I would be back. And Daredevil's like, but I'm Daredevil, and you're not my moral authority. And you've put as many people in hospital as I have, and I don't see you being fingerprinted. Now get the blank out of my home before I call the cops. He's like, you can't be serious. You broke it. You're breaking and entering. You're literally committing a crime right now.
On his full-on getup.
Oh, he punked Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like, fine, I'll be back. And then he jumps up the window. Perfect.
Daredevil's like,
And then
I didn't know how much I had left in me.
Look at this.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Great feat.
I love Chichetto's heart, man. Beautiful stuff.
Dude can draw feet.
And then he gets Foggy comes up with a good plan. And this was cool because
Oh my goodness.
it was I think it was Wade's run that Daredevil was allowed to testify as Daredevil. All right. So he was able to keep his identity secret, and the Supreme Court ruled that a superhero can keep their identity. It is a separate identity.
Yeah.
So now they're going to use that same ruling to put Daredevil in prison, not Matt Murdock. They're going to put Daredevil in prison. But then the defensive, the I can't remember his name now. The attorney, the prosecutor, was like, I need to know who you are. And so he actually takes off his mask. He goes, you work. Now, he slaps him. All right, first of all, I would have punched him, not slapped him. That's kind of silly. But maybe that's just his character. And then they're like, he's like, hey, and Matt's like, yeah, if this comes out that it's me, then all my cases I've ever tried is getting thrown out. And it was fantastic the way he used law, the interplay between different people, and the setting up what's coming next. Right, all these like Daredevil
number 20.
I'll watch replay tonight because I've only read X-Men 3 to 4. I want more input. Also, read FF20, and is at the end of that run. I don't know. I have not been reading Fantastic Four. I tried reading up to like issue 4 or 5, and I just couldn't stand it. So I don't read Fantastic Four at the moment.
That ending scene was so impactful too, because they both know. Matt knows. He's like, I know I messed up. I didn't want it to come to this at all.
Yes, and the pain.
The attorney knows. He knows.
Look at the pain in his face, and that's not because this guy slapped him. That's because he knows
he's ashamed.
He's ashamed of what he did. He's ashamed that. No, I don't know if it was necessarily murder, but he did. I didn't read that one, so way back. But and it also can affect all costume superheroes, mass superheroes. So this was really, really good. One of my top picks of the week. No problem. I haven't read. I've read the only part I've read of Fantastic Four is like first 5 and then the Empire stuff. But yeah, it just kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Dan Slott's writing. So it kind of just I was like, nah, I gave it a try, but it's like, eh. All right. So next was Hellions.
This is pretty interesting.
Hellions number 2. Now, when I first saw this coming out, I'm like, they're going to milk. They're milking. Is the DD related to the Teen Titan thing starting soon?
What Teen Titan thing?
I don't know what Daredevil has to do with.
Loop.
I don't know what Daredevil has to do with Teen Titans at all, or the teen thing starting soon. I don't know. I'm not sure. What teens? But yeah. So here, Hellion. Now, when it first started, I'm like, they're going to milk the X-Men thing for all it's worth, and this is just another milk, But honestly, I've dropped Marauders. I've dropped Excalibur. I've dropped something else. New Mutants.
Yeah.
I keep the regular X-Men right now, only because I like X-Men.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have no idea.
Sam.
Hey Samuel, how you doing, man? The Outlaw thing. Maybe not the Titans. Teen crime. I don't know. They got the Outlaw thing going on. I'm not reading that either. I'm not a big fan of the Champions. But yeah, I don't know about Power Pack. Honestly, I don't. I know who they are, but
the
I don't know
Outlaws
if they're coming
thing, where team of superheroes get a law against them.
Yeah, the teen superheroes get the law saying they can't do whatever they're. But yeah, so that's about as far as I know on that. The art in here is really good.
Yeah.
I like the art. They had a lot of good moments like this one where Scalp Hunter just shot him in the face. That was great. Well, he was being a punk, and so he's like, boom. And I warned him. I'm not gonna have to fill out the report.
And now I gotta do paperwork.
And so basically, this is a team of
it's like
not real villains, but they're more of the villainous mutants, the ones with
Suicide Squad with
it's Suicide Squad, mutant Suicide Squad in a sense. But so they're using them to do the dirty work, right?
What is it? What they call it? Therapeutic destruction.
Therapeutic destruction. and the writing here, Zeb Wells does a great job in the writing. And you got Madeline Pryor that came back. So Madeline's back. And man, we've got fighting. We've got interplay between the characters. We've got Nanny and Orphan Maker in there. And then we get Wild Child decides now is a good time to attack Psylocke because, alpha of the pack, right? Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a lot of I haven't watched your video yet, Second Street, Trinity. But I'm not sure what the inconsistency was.
I didn't see what between 1 and 2, or
is it between 1 and 2?
I think he's talking about between 1 and 2.
I mean, it's not my favorite art, but it was pretty good. It was solid. I mean, I liked the different angles that it came up with.
Like that.
Yeah, the zombies. Zombie X-Men.
These were both pretty good.
But yeah, so this was good for me. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So you?
It was okay.
So okay, for me it was good. I'm definitely buying the next one. So that it was that kind of good, right?
That's freaking X-Men Fantastic Four was. Now Wolverine.
Oh, you can tell it was Terry Dodson. All right, so now we got Wolverine.
Number three.
And we got, Adam Kubert's art.
What is up with Wolverine doing things that aren't normally Wolverine things?
Well, like what?
Well, he went and had a girl's day.
No, that wasn't in here.
No, not in here. This was he was planning.
No, this was good. I liked these panels. This was great.
Yeah, I love the layout. But he's like, normally I trust my instinct, and that's instinct because that's what Wolverine is.
It's instinct, right? And he goes in and does it. Now, no flowers in this Wolverine that I remember. There was the Ghost Lady. There was Kid Omega. We've got Wolverine wearing Magneto's helmet, which was cool.
Well, yeah, because he didn't want the Pale Lady to mess with him.
The Pale Lady to mess with his mind. We had good fight scenes. This was actually pretty solid for me. I enjoyed the art.
And at the end, I think Wolverine did something very Wolverine-esque.
They had a very COVID moment here. He goes, you saved your life, not to mention mine. What's that? Oh, here. And Logan, hands out, and he pours some antiviral stuff on his hands. You might have a healing factor. Hand sanitizer. You might have a healing factor, but she doesn't.
It looked like lotion to me.
It looked like a lotion, but it was hand sanitizer.
It so
I was
sunscreen to me.
That was actually really good. So last week with the whole, I'm so tired of flowers, honestly, but this was solid. This was solid. It had good fight scenes. It had the Ghost Lady that could mess with people's brains. That was really well played. The way
so aggressively relaxing.
The way, hey, regressively, how you doing, man? Now, it is my fan theory.
Fan theory time.
The Empire Kotai alien race did a preemptive strike against the X-Men, and that's why there's so many flowers and flower villains in the X-Men. They are planning to take the X-Men out before the fight even begins on planet Earth. That's my theory. All right. But yeah, this was solid. This was a solid read.
Has that much forethought?
No, I don't. So for me, this was a solid read. I really, really enjoyed this. It was good. It was really good, especially the art.
Yeah, it was worth my time that I put into it. My time's not worth a lot, but I put in. I read it.
I did that instead of playing video games. That was cool.
All right, man, I haven't played games in so long.
Wait, next one is Batman '95.
I liked the beginning of this.
I liked the beginning of this too. I mean, honestly, Jimenez's art
was great.
Jimenez's art is really good. I enjoy his art.
Yeah.
I think the issue I had with this was the fight scene between Batman and Punchline.
Yeah, Punchline should have gotten the snot kicked out of her.
I don't understand where Punchline can fight Batman to a standstill, and then, Empire will wipe out Krakoa, maybe. And then he gets poisoned. She poisons him with a mixture of the fear toxin and venom.
And the regular laughing thing that
I don't know.
Joker
She hasn't had a lot of chance to build up to be a Batman level threat.
Yeah.
But it's just like she's there, and now she's a Batman level threat, which, I mean...
I could see her as being a Robin level threat.
I mean, she needs to build up to that.
She can be a good Damian.
But honestly, the idea in here is interesting. Batman gets all his money stolen. They're going after him in all these different places and ways. They've taken his house. They've taken his patents. They're trying to get rid of his weapons from Bruce Wayne. I like that idea. It's interesting. I don't like
take Batman's money away from him.
I don't like the chrome Batman suit. I'm not a big fan of that. But overall, the story I enjoy. I like the story. I like where it's going. I just had a little bit of issue with the whole. I don't like Punchline. So for me, it was solid. It was good. Young Whippersnapper.
Yeah. Second Street's like issue 2 of New Mutants has done some conversation. I didn't see many people talking about it. All the species ascending the Planet or Flanex. It's pretty much everything we've seen in House of X Power Effects. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dropped New Mutants after 2.
Scott, yeah.
I haven't read actually a lot of it from that.
Because Damian's an actual assassin. She's just a fangirl. So
issue 2 of New Mutants has the Dome conversation. I don't see. I mean, it'd be interesting to see where we go to the Phalanx. I like that House of X Powers of X. I'm not sure. It just seems really slow getting there. I like to see more on that. I like to see it go more that direction.
Yeah, I think Marvel is the biggest issue. They're going really slow, but putting a bunch of books out.
And Damian is way scarier than the Joker's girlfriend. I agree.
But we have
especially if you read Teen Titans, where he's going after KGB Hunter, and he just like chops his arm off. What?
This is justice.
This is watch me administer justice. All right, that's a cool theory. The connective tissue and long-term story building has been brilliant in Marvel. I mean, it'd be interesting if they actually tried that. I'm not sure they did. But
it would have been. I bet you it's probably going to be a lot better than what they're actually going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so now we go into the big story arc, right?
For Marvel.
The Empire #2. I thought this had some interesting moments.
Yeah.
I think 52 issues is too much. I don't think there's enough story for 52 issues.
Give us 38, and I'm happy with 38.
Like some of the scenes in here, like them in the clouds like that was beautiful. I liked them turning the Kotai into villains. I think that's an interesting theory. Them being always peaceful. We saw them in the Guardians of the Galaxy when the swordsman died the first time for the Celestial Messiah. We saw all this in the past. Now we're back into our present now, and we see them becoming villains.
Yeah, becoming a war nation.
That was cool. When the hammer came back to Thor, and then he steps out like that was great. I loved it. And so I like it. I think it's going a little slower but I don't know. It's weird. I need more time.
I had a big feeling of get there.
I need more time in the story to kind of go into it a little bit. It had some good points. I'm still into the story. The problem is, well, for me, this is a recommend.
Scott, man.
The recommend. I like it.
The 1,000 issue checklist. I think that's the only issue.
Yeah, that it's 52 issues. No, I did buy. Yeah, see, that's crazy amount of books.
Galactic Depression has been awesome so far. Subtract 19 issues from the event issue count. The artwork in the book does not reflect the new reality.
True. All right, so we did get and this is the only one off I bought this week. was the Avengers one because I'm already collecting Avengers. I like Avengers.
This was interesting.
It was interesting. I liked the art. It was a little different. At first, I wasn't sure, but it's like, it's okay. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not buying every.
Go back to the bird wielding swords.
Yes.
I love it.
I mean, look, that was awesome.
I really liked the fight scenes in this one.
And that might be a way to do it. Second Street is wait until the end, and you can read all 52. The problem is this story didn't feel like it belonged with this at all. Because here we're still in space, and we're still kind of, and then this comes out the same week, and it's like
very little congruency with them.
I'm not sure, how did the Avengers get down here? Why is Mockingbird with Wonder Man? Where did Quicksilver come from?
Right? Why is he old?
Quicksilver's not even in the regular Avenger comic. He just shows up. And then we got Man-Thing showing up. It was a little confusing because it doesn't fit right. The story, if it was its own little story, it would be pretty cool. But trying to fit it into this, it didn't fit. So for me, it was okay.
What was in Wolverine 3, they were like, we're doing this for you. Bring us Cable. When they were flattering Mohawk dude up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like all the girls came out.
Oh, that was back. Yeah, that was
Wolverine
back
3.
In Wolverine 3. Yeah, there was the Cuckoos.
Yeah.
That were basically the Cuckoos are in love with Cable. So they hit on Kid Omega, made him feel good about himself. So that way Wolverine could get what he wanted so that they could get Cable. All right, so Second Street Marvel is I'm not reading Empire, right? So was it as bad as Cable 1 art? And that was crayons and watercolors. So apparently you do not like Phil Noto or Rodriguez. So where did he escape the Speed Force thing?
I didn't know he could get in the Speed Force.
Well, he went. They had a little short mini series with Cable where he went in and got captured in this time stream thing. So I don't know when he got out of it. So I'm saying I'm reading this and I have no idea what's going on, and that was probably the biggest problem I had is it didn't make sense with what I've been reading of Avengers versus what I've been reading with Empire.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is fun.
It was just like
how does this connect?
It was like its own little crossover event miniseries.
During No Surrender?
I don't remember. I must have just totally missed that. All right, so next we had X-Men #1, the free comic book day. Honestly, I think this was more like a preview of what's going to happen when the two islands meet and the division is open and the things on the other side of the come out, and that's where the X of Swords the Ten of Swords comes into play, where all the X-Men now have to battle the demon things on the other side of that dimension. That the first Apocalypse. I don't want to spoil it for you, Second Street, but I think that's what it's about. It's like that thing, right? So I think, but honestly, the best part of the comic was the preview for this. This looks interesting to me too. So this is a Tom Taylor. This is a Tom Taylor deal where he has been doing a fantastic job with Deceased over on DC. I've really been enjoying that. This is called The Dark Ages, a saga of the Marvel Universe. Where were you when the lights went out? And Ivan Coelho does the art. Tom Taylor's doing the writing. This.
Yeah.
Iron Man is now a peg leg. Yes.
Yep.
This should be really interesting.
It has.
I didn't like Tom Taylor on X-Men Red, honestly. It just didn't make sense to me. But when he took over Deceased, fantastic. And now he's coming over for this Dark Ages.
Yeah, Aaron, I got it.
And when I read that, I mean, look at the foot. I mean, Tom Taylor does some scary stuff. We got the Iron Pirate. That'd be funny, Scott. But yeah, this is probably the best part of this new comic book day. The X-Men stuff was a good lead up to I think what the X of Swords is going to be. I think it's going to be interdimensional. I think it's going to be The whole Two Islands meeting and the dimensional door is going to open up, and all that bad stuff's going to come out, and the original Horsemen, which I think were right here.
Yeah.
I think that's the original Horseman coming out of the dimension.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, that was the first one reviewed. The Second Street, man. When Damien stole the jet, right? And he's like, the worst part of stealing an invisible jet, your visibility. And he's just floating in the air. Or when Kite Man hits the jet and smears along the side. Oh, man. Yes. I mean, the only problem with that is it's digital. I'd rather keep, I want a floppy, right? But overall, those Hope at World's End have been fire. They are awesome. All right, so this was good to me, but again, it's a free comic book day, so I mean, I can't recommend it, but it was really pretty good. Yeah, so I'm trying to lock down Marvel's timeline right now. I hope Empire happens after Galactic Wakanda, so T'Challa can just open up the portal and bring his own fleet of spaceships back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never tell with Marvel's timeline what's going on. Because, if Maria McTaggart dies, then it all just resets anyway. So the whole Marvel universe wrapped around one woman that's hiding at the bottom of an island. So who knows? They could just change it all. All right, so the next one we picked up was Detective Comics 1024.
And this was also pretty good.
This was also pretty good. It was solid. It wasn't at first. Again, I didn't get the ones before this, so I don't know what was leading up to this. But jumping in on this was, it was pretty good. We get Two-Face in a suit, Iron Man suit, shooting rockets. We've got Joker controlling a bunch of talons and owls, and they're like fighting, and all that's cool. And then we see Joker back, Two-Face back in prison, offering advice. It had a lot of action, had a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was solid. It was a solid read. Tomasi always does really pretty good. I mean, the art to me was okay. We had some good pieces, but some of it
I didn't like that the full page of Batman's face. I was like, that's a weird looking face.
We had when Batman did surgery on the Two-Face. That was cool. Actually, where I'm trying to find your Batman face.
No, it's at the back, isn't it? That one. That's a weird looking Batman.
All right, so he says that's a weird looking Batman face. I don't know. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best art for me. It was okay. It was good. So this was solid for me. Definitely solid. Yeah. I have a feeling all of it's getting reset.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be another House of X, Powers of X miniseries at the end of his 2-year plan or 2.5-year plan, whatever it is. And I think they're going to the Fallon. I think one of the timelines we've already seen the end, and it's just now a matter of getting to it. We'll see. Something's going on. All right.
Detective, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was a solid read. So here is the last book we got, Justice League Dark. Yeah, I know. But I really do wish they'd get away from the flowers. I am so sick of plant stuff. All right, so Justice League Dark 24. I mean, we have all this freaking plant stuff in X-Men, and then they do the Empire storyline. It's like Marvel is in love with plants right now. All right, so Justice League Dark. This was another solid. So Ram V is doing the story. And Amance K and Nehelpon is the artist. The art is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not my top tier. It's not my favorite. It was okay. But the story was really pretty good. So the team's been through crap. I mean, it's been hard on the team here recently. With the Hecate and all the power and all this kind of stuff going on, and Bobo and the sword not working, and Limbo and the Lords of Order and all this kind of stuff going on. And now Zatanna just wants to save her dad.
Yeah. She
just wants to save her dad. Constantine disappears with the whole the red versus the green thing and the rot and that whole last. So just wants to save her dad. And so her and Wonder Woman try to save her dad, but they end up getting sucked into the upside down. the next story is going to be fantastic, I think. And when we see her dad,
Oh yeah, father.
no, I mean, you can almost just see it in his face, like she's in the upside down, he's burning alive with his doves, and this just going to be good. So this was another good solid read.
Flowers is just an illusion
Yeah.
to The Walking Dead.
Justly when Venditti stopped, kind of, it was. I mean, I don't know who the new guy is, and the whole world. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still iffy on the Justice League. We did review it last week. It was okay. It was one of those. It moved down from good to solid. So it was an okay story, but I do see if it's just a weird kind of story. Whole on another planet defending it. We'll see. Aggressive Lax. We see Mora being confronted by a hive mind at the end of the Hux box. It steals her body and gets to live life as a human. The continuity we grew up reading is that life. She got body snatched. True. All right. So to go through this was my pick of the week. Fantastic.
Number 2 for me, actually.
This was great. If you're not getting this, get this. $9.99, full comic, full of this was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think aggressively laxing is close too. Yeah. This was good. It goes to the other one. So this was good, solid. So this was up there.
So first two books, $5 each. That's literally normal.
This is one of my top reads this week.
Yeah, that's pretty.
This was solid good.
Yeah.
But had one of my snap moments of the week when Professor X mind wipes Fantastic Four, Miss Reed Richards.
That X-Men
are villainous. Well, Professor X and Magneto are villainous. That was villain when they wiped his mind and they told him, "You'll remember you did it, but you can't remember how you did it." What that is torture for him. Yeah, the Prelude, man. I read it one sitting of Firepower. One sitting, read it all. Fantastic read. All right. Next was Daredevil. This had my other snap moment of the week when
Spider-Man got
punked by Daredevil. It was beautiful.
This is my
beautiful.
Book.
That was his favorite of the week. Yeah. And so this was top tier book. One of my 3 top tiers.
4X was good, but
Hellions 2, solid, good. Good, solid.
That was
good, solid for me.
It was like,
Yeah. At the end, I mean, reading up to it, I'm like, okay, this was a good miniseries. But is it going to be a lasting thing? Is there going to make a lasting impression on the overall story of?
Are they going to keep the villainous X-Men?
And when I saw that last scene, I'm like, oh snap! All right, so Wolverine 3.
It was solid.
This to me was good, solid. This was solid.
Yeah.
Batman 95. This was really, a good, solid. This was solid for me. Empire. We'll see if number 3 picks it up a little bit. I normally love crossover events. I really do.
To see Rosenberg write some Spider-Man, Second Street.
I wouldn't mind. He did a pretty good job with Uncanny. I like to see it. I wouldn't mind. But sometimes he's hit or miss for me. So we'll see. They can give him a different than Amazing Spider-Man. Just spin up Spectacular again or something like that. Spin it up. All right, so this was solid. I mean, we'll see if they pick up. It's right on the edge of being like top tier and just solid. It's kind of in that grouping. I don't think it was supposed to be weekly, but it seems like it's been coming out every week because this week we got, I think, 3 tie-ins plus their main story. I think we got Hulkling Empire. We got X-Men Empire, and we got Avengers Empire. And we got Empire 2.
That one was okay.
This was okay.
Still trying to figure out where it fits in.
It was good in a sense of a one-shot story, but I'm not sure how it fits in, which left me confused, which is not good. This was good. Not a recommend because it's a free comic book day. There wasn't a lot that went on in it other than Dark Ages, which looks fantastic. This was solid. This was a solid read for me. I really enjoyed it. And this was a good, solid read for me as well. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with most of that.
And he had a few differences, right? So your best of the week was
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Your second best was
Fire Nation. Yeah.
Firepower.
Firepower. Hey.
See, he keeps going back to Ange, right? Fire Nation. So he's got the whole. What's the name of that?
It's
Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah.
All right, so
Fire Nation.
I hope Empire will reveal Reed Richards from Doom. I am your father. Yeah. All right, guys. So that is our quick fire review for the week.
Hey, that was pretty quick for the amount of books we did.
If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe.
And the digital one.
Oh, and the digital one. Hope
That
It
was
World's
pretty
End. That was really good. Dinner just arrived, so we are actually going to be.
On time.
Yeah, we're going to be jumping off here in a minute. So again, Sunday, don't forget we do Judging a Book by its cover, where we play Cards Against Humanity, but with comic covers. What does this comic mean to you based solely on the cover? We have a lot of fun. Everybody in the chat joins in. Everybody in the chat votes. Everybody plays, at least as of far, because we don't have that many people playing. But that's our quick fire reviews for the week. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Gresley, Simon, Scott, Second Street, and everybody else, Perry, that was here. Anybody I missed, I'm sorry. Thank you all for joining us on the stream. Again, we'll see you next time here in the Long Box. Have a good night, everybody.